Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Supatease video, and 10.2.6 has just dropped with a major feature, the Plunder Storm. I got a video covering that. I'll link at the end of this one, but there are also going to be some class changes, and looks like possibly a rework for this patch that was being hidden and locked away from us. So if you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with news related to World of Warcraft, smash that subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated. So right off the rip, we are going to be getting set bonuses exchanged moving into Season 4. And a lot of these set bonuses are getting significant buffs. So Blood Death Knight is going to be seeing a doubling in their set bonus. Their Heart Strike and Blood Boil damage is going to be doing 20% more, up from 10. And their chance to gain Vampiric Blood is going up to 10 from 5. This could have implications in PvP as well, because Heart Strike is one of your main damaging abilities. For Frost, your 2-set bonus, the damage of your next Frostworm's Fury is going to be increased by 5%, up from 4. The stacks are unchanged. Your set bonus, the effectiveness of the Frostworm's Fury is increased to 30%, up from 25, and Howling Blast damage increased to 20%, up from 10. So hey, Frost Death Knights, this is the first time I've read a patch note change and there's actually a buff for you, so there's something good for you today. This is a good day to be a Frost DK. For Boomkin, your 2-set bonus, Star Surge and Starfall increase the damage of your next Wrath or Starfire by 30%, stacking up to 3 times, was previously 20, so Moonkin buffs. Your 4-piece, when you enter Eclipse, your next Star Surge or Starfall costs 15 less Astral Power, up from 5, and deals 40% increased damage. I was not expecting to be buffed that much. Okay, Season 4 Boomkin's looking pretty scary. Evoker, Landslide is just getting a mana cost reduction. Sleepwalk is getting a mana cost reduction. Supposedly, if you're in PvP playing the no cooldown Sleepwalk, this might have some overall significant impact. But your mana is going to be a little bit better if you're using offensive, utility, and crowd control, which is nice quality of change for PvP. For Devastation, your 2-set bonus causes Disintegrate and Pyre to pierce enemies for 18% of the damage done, up from 12. And your 4-piece increases Empower spell damage by 12, up from 8. So you're going to be getting some pretty big one-shots with that 4-piece bonus for sure. Preservation Evoker increases the healing of Reversion by 50%, up from 35, for 8 seconds, up from 6. And your 4-piece increases healing and damage of Living Flame by 50%, up from 20. Reversion critical heals now extend Reversion by 2 seconds regardless of haste. And Emerald Communion now will give an error message to and fail to cast if used while in a Diamond Dice. I wonder, also in a clone. Okay, so that's just like a PvP specific change. So big buffs to Preservation Evoker, huge buffs. For Survival Hunter, we are looking at Mongoose Bite, Raptor Strike, Carve, and Butchery damage, all getting buffed to 18% from 12. And your 4-piece is bonus damage to Mongoose Bite, Raptor Strike, Carve, and Butchery increased to 50%, up from 40. So just overall, everybody seems to be getting buffs here moving into Season 4. For Fire Mage, your 2-set bonus, Charring Embers now increases damage taken by 6, up from 5, and lasts 2 additional seconds. And they've added an activation overlay for the Fury of the Sun King, so something visual on your screen for your UI. Mistweaver monks are getting a new talent, Dance of Chi-Ji. Your spells and abilities have a chance to make your next spinning crane kick deal an additional 300% damage. Fist weaving monks are not going anywhere, man. They're buffing them. They're not going anywhere. They're just getting more powerful, man. New talent, Peer into Peace. 5% of your overhealing done onto targets with Soothing Mist is spread to 3 nearby injured allies. Soothing Mist now follows the target of your Enveloping Mist or Vivify, and its channel time is increased by 4 seconds. Resplendent Mist now causes Gust of Winds to have a 30% chance to do 75 to 150% more healing. They're buffing their Mastery. Peaceful Mending is now a 1-point talent and increases the healing allies receive from Enveloping Mist or Renewing Mist by 40%, while Soothing Mist is active from 25. This is the Mistweaver patch. This just feels like they're making this the Mistweaver patch at this point. Windwalker Monks, 2-set bonus. Fist of Fury now increases the damage dealt by your Rising Sun Kick or Spinning Crane Kicks by 40%, up from 30. And your 4-piece is Fist of Fury now instead enhances your next 3 Rising Sun Kicks or Spinning Crane Kicks, and Enhanced Kicks increase the damage of your next Fist of Fury by 7, up from 5, stacking up to 3 times. Holy Paladins set bonuses are going to be getting buffed here. Increases Holy Shock's critical healing by 80%, up from 60. Your 4-set increases Holy Prism's healing by 40, down from 80. Holy Prism was already not that good in PvP, so this is... what do they have to say about this? Holy Prism's healing was increased baseline in the Guardians of the Dream, so this bonus is being decreased with that in mind. This will still be an overall gain in power compared to Embers of Neltharium. Your 4-piece bonus, Light's Hammer healing increased by 20%. For prop paladins, Ally of the Light's versatility is being increased to 8% up from 6. Your 4-piece Hammer of the Righteous, Blessed Hammer, and Crusader Strike increases your parry by 7 up from 5. And for priests, this is the rework I think that's coming in for priests. Leap of Faith is now no longer going to interrupt spellcast from an ally when it's used on them. So if you've already started a poly on the healer and you get gripped, that poly is going to go through as long as it's in range and still land. Your channeled spells like Drain Life or Ray of Frost aren't going to be interrupted. So this is a really big quality of life improvement for those awkward moments where the priest wants to get you out of danger, but you were just casting a really key spell. You're not going to have to worry about that being interrupted anymore. For Holy, Imperial Blaze has been redesigned. Holy Word Chastise causes your next 2 casts of Holy Fire to be instant, cost no mana, and incur no cooldown. Refreshing Holy Fire on a target now extends its duration by 7 seconds. So this is cutting down a keybind. Imperial Blaze is now just baked into Chastise. It's assuming that you're likely going to want to use a Holy Fire when you are using your Chastise to CAC enemy targets. Reduces a little bit of keybind bloat, so I think that is good. Pontifex has been redesigned. Flash Heal, Prayer of Healing, and Circle of Healing increases the healing done by your next Holy Word spell by 6%, stacking up to 5 times. That's a lot. Lightwell has been redesigned. This was a really key spell to Holy Priest, so hopefully they've done something good for this. Creates a Holy Lightwell, and every second the Lightwell will attempt to heal a nearby party or raid member within 40 yards that is lower than 50% health, and apply a Renew to them for 6 seconds. Lightwell lasts for 2 minutes or until it heals 15 times. Cooldown reduced by 3 seconds when you cast Holy Word Serenity or Holy Word Sanctify. I like that they're bringing the Lightwell back from what it used to be. This was a cool thing. Hopefully you can't bug it in the wall like it used to be, but I think it's cool that they're bringing Lightwell back. You're just getting all healing reduced by 7% though to compensate for these changes. Holy Fire's mana cost is going down to 0.4 from 1. They need to do this with all the healers. Your damage dealing spells that get you in the game and like playing the game and being aggressive shouldn't punish you towards the late game. Being able to min-max and get damage out while healing should be something that's rewarded and incentivized. So they need to do this with all the healers and lower the mana cost of damage spells. Holy Word Chastise, mana cost reduced to 0.6 from 2. And Resonant Words now causes Holy Words to increase the healing done by your next Flash Heal, Prayer of Healing, or Circle of Healing by 20 to 40%. Divine Word now increases the effectiveness of your Holy Word spell by 30 down from 50. Casting Holy Word Chastise with Divine Word active now increases the damage dealt by 20% and refunds 15 seconds from the cooldown of Holy Word Chastise instead of its previous effect. So, and remember, Imperial Blaze is going to be giving you instant Holy Fire. So if you can get some cooldown reduction around Chastise, you're just going to get more instant Holy Fires. Casting Holy Word Sanctify and Divine Word active now blesses the target area and heals 5 targets, down from 6, but the healing has been increased by 25%, which is going to be great for PvP. Casting Holy Word Serenity and Divine Word active no longer increases the critical strike chance of Flash Heal, and Renew. Healing Chorus now increases the healing of Circle of Healing by 5%, stacking up to 20 times. It's previously 2 to 50. This is a little bit more realistic on getting the stacks, but I still think PvP, you're probably not going to play Circle. Prayerful Litany now heals for 100% more to the most injured ally it affects. It was previously 30%. Harmonious Apparatus has been renamed to Voice of Harmony, and its icon has been changed. Voice of Harmony now causes Holy Nova to reduce the cooldown of Chastise in addition to Holy Fire. Interesting. I don't know if you're going to really be having time to run around spamming Holy Nova. At least in PvP, you don't really have a lot of time to do that. Gales of Song is now a 1-point talent with the values of the previous 2-point version. Orison now has a connection to Pontifex. Divine Service now has a connection to Say Your Prayers. Empowered Renew and Rapid Recovery have been removed. And the final 3 rows of the tree have been reorganized. So you're basically getting a class rework for Holy Priest here towards the final season. We got more buffs here. Let's see what Shadow is going to be getting. Increases the damage of your Mind Blast by 40% when Shadowy Insight triggers, up from 30. Your 4-piece increases the damage of Devouring Plague by 18, up from 15. And causes every 4 casts of Devouring Plague to increase Shadowy Apparition damage by 100%, up from 80. So Shadow buffs. Resto Shaman, Healing Stream Totem now increases critical strike by 15, up from 10. And your 4-piece is now increasing the effectiveness of critical heals by 220, up from 215, as opposed to the usual 200. For Destruction Warlock, we are seeing Consuming Soul Shards has a chance to grant you Chaos Maelstrom, increasing your critical strike chance by 15%, up from 10. And your 4-piece will be your critical strikes deal 212%, up from 208 damage from the usual 200. So I'm a bit scared about how big these Chaos Bolts could be with that number, that modifier, but we'll wait and see. For Warrior, Arms Warrior, bonus damage to Mortal Strike and Cleave increased by 15%, so 5% buff here. Critical strike chance bonus unchanged. Your 4-piece bonus damage and critical strike chance increased to 8%, up from 5. So buffs to Arms Warrior. For Fury Warrior, bonus damage and critical strike chance to Rampage increased to 12%, up from 10. And your 4-piece bonus damage increased to 30%, and critical strike chance increased to 12 to Bloodthirst. So just overall a lot of class buffs to a whole bunch of the classes with a bunch of reworks here. And I think there was one specific thing here. So they've got a little bit of a note here for the solo curated BGs. We've been happy to see the excitement around Battleground Blitz after its launch in the Guardian of Dreams. After monitoring the feedback, we are making some changes. We believe these changes will be healthy for the game mode, and we want to ensure adequate time to observe feedback on them while Battleground Blitz is a brawl. In particular, we are not happy with the low frequency of capture the flag maps due to the restrictions of the maps being only available with tanks. In 10.2.6, we are limiting the restriction and are introducing a new buff called the Empowered Carrier that will be applied to non-tank specs if they pick up the flag in Warsong and Twin Peaks. Tanks will only be matched up against other tanks, and this buff will only be applied if there are not any tanks in the match. Additionally, we've been overall happy with and have heard positive feedback around having an increased mount speed in Battleground Blitz. However, the 150% mount speed increases slightly too fast for both the gameplay and character control experiences. We are adjusting the amount of increase on all maps, although having slightly higher on the larger maps, Arathi Basin and Deepwind Gorge. So they're still keeping their eye on this. I think Battleground Blitz, solo queue battlegrounds, raid battlegrounds could be the future for PvP. I think it's just a lot of people don't want to organize 10 people. It's just really difficult to do that. The same issues with raiding. So this could be a major feature. It's going to be good to see what this testing is. A bit worried about this buff on classes that have high mobility. If then now they're also extra tanky. It just means like those classes like Havoc Demon Hunter, possibly Arcane Mage, could just end up being the best flag carriers overall, because we already see that with Vengeance Demon Hunter. It's the best because of its mobility and its tankiness. So if there's a buff that can make a DPS spec that has mobility as tanky as a Vengeance, they're just going to be, it's going to be like that team with the Arcane Mage or that team with the Havoc Demon Hunter is probably going to be the winning team. So there could be some difficulty there in trying to make Warsong Gulch and these capture the flag maps work in this format. They've had a hidden effect that prevents fall damage to both teams for 10 seconds at the start of a match. People are accidentally taking damage in Eye of the Storm. Warsong and Twin Peaks, new buff, Empowered Carrier, increases maximum health and movement speed by 30%. Additionally, Empowered Carrier provides 25% damage reduction for 4 seconds when stunned. Empowered Carrier is applied to non-tank specs who pick up the flag on Warsong and Twin Peaks and won't be applied if the match started with tanks in the match. Swift Pursuit, your mount speed is only going to be 100% on Arathi and Deepwind, down from 150, and other maps is going to be 75, down from 150. And for Preservation Evoker, specifically in PvP, Rewind is going to heal for 50% of the damage taken in the last 5 seconds, up from 33. So just some buffs to Preservation. So overall, a lot of buffs to a ton of these classes, focusing on the new features that rated solo queue Battleground. And it looks like it's, with the language they're using in this paragraph, that's likely going to be real. It's likely going to be happening. So this is a really great update. Very happy to see this and these types of changes moving forward. And of course, once again, if you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with those changes, smash that subscribe button. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.